Good morning. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to my Renaissance session this Thursday morning. Straight away, it's quite cold today, so we're going to start moving rather than just talking. So we're going to start with our arm out to the side and coming to the back as we're standing. Just to the back, arm out. Now this arm can be flat, up and down. We might decide to go down and up. But really what we're trying to do here is get the upper back working, looking behind us. So do take your eyes with you when you are moving to the back. Otherwise, if you leave your head forwards, you pinch that shoulder, and that's the last thing we want to do. Also, we want to follow, if you like, the hand with your eyes. And you'll be feeling this probably just in your upper back, between your shoulder blade and your spine, and those muscles there. You'll be feeling them working as you're moving back. Great. Just getting that upper back, such an important thing, this extension of our upper torso. Next, into our stepping preparation. So we're going to step forwards, bring our feet together, step back, other foot, stepping forwards, feet together, stepping back, stepping to the side, feet together, back, other side, feet together, back, step back, feet together, forwards, and then other foot leading. And remember that this is just to get ourselves stepping and balancing and getting our weight over our feet, stepping forwards, but it's also just giving us a baseline in terms of how we're feeling. So we do this again at the end to see what the difference is. See if our session has made us feel any different. We're stepping to the side. Then we've just got our toes and the ball of our foot on the floor here. I call this an anchor, and I'll keep referring to it as an anchor. Heel on as we step to the back. It's much easier than the toes. So this is where we get most of our weight over our leg, but we still have the safety of the foot on the floor. And now we're going to move to stepping forwards and taking the foot off the floor. Stepping back. Stepping forwards. Foot off the floor, just for a moment. We're not hanging out here, we're not trying to stay here for any longer than a second. Just getting that feeling of getting our body weight over our leg and our ankle and our hips, and then back. We'll go to the side again, each side. And then side. Fantastic. So this is the beginning of our preparation. Upper back just starting to be moving, legs starting to move, getting our weight over our legs. Yeah. It could be also, or have something that you can just hold on to as something that can support you. And we're just going to do a couple of different exercises. They're closer to other gym exercises, so they're sort of repeating patterns. So we're going to extend the leg forwards. We're going to hang on to something. We are deliberately hanging on to something here, and then coming back. We're going to extend the leg forwards, and then come back. Extend it to the side, and back in, and to the side again, back in, and extend it to the back. You might lean forward a touch there to do that. Straight leg, and then to the side, and to the side. Now, the other side, you can face the opposite direction. Obviously, the camera is here, so I'm going to change my chair. Right, it goes forwards. So I really want to get my weight over this leg that I'm balancing on as I do this exercise. Here, to the side, and second to the side. You might feel that just at the top of your glutes, top of your butt. To the back, and again to the back, and to the side, and to the side. Great. Now we're going to go back to our first side, just with these leg exercises again. We're going to hold on here and do a full circle and then back together. And you're going to have weight on both of your feet when you come back together. And then we're going to extend to the back, to the front, back together. Now if I'm far enough away, if I'm feeling confident, or I could just do this with my hand here just to show you as well. Other side, forwards, circle, foot on the floor, back, circle, foot on the floor. I think I might have done this twice just now. Here, foot on the floor, back, foot on the floor. Now if you are feeling confident, we're going to actually repeat all of that. If you're feeling that you want to, I'm going to, we can do this all without holding on to anything. So, extending forwards and then back down, and forwards and back down. If you aren't feeling confident to do this without holding on to anything, then grab something to hang on to. This isn't a competition as to whether you can or can't. This is movements and exercises where you are dealing with your own capacity, so you make those choices that are right for you. And then other side, forwards. We're just doing twice in each direction. We try to come back to both feet every time. To the side, to the side, and now go to the back, and to the back, to the side, and to the side. Brilliant. So now we're going to go forwards and we're going to do a circle. We'll just do from the front to the back, back to the front each side, just once through. Back onto balance on 2 feet. Leg goes to the back, 2 feet. Goes forwards, to the back, 2 feet, and then back, forwards, 2 feet. Brilliant. That's just, we've got a couple of other things coming up, but I just wanted to really explore those kinds of exercises with us today. Let's come back to what we most often do, which is we start with our position here. Rotation. Remember, whatever arm position you choose to be, whatever leg configuration you choose to be, we just want a static position that's got a rotation in it, arms in it, any position you wish. And we're just going to step, a couple of steps across the room, and then another position facing the opposite way. And stepping forwards, side and back, and position, and then stepping, finding just a slower position with your slower step, as you're moving. So we sort of augment the feeling of balance that's happening every time you step. And then the next position we go into will be an anchor position. Here. Anchoring, so I've got most of my weight on this leg. Anchoring in this next one as well. It'll be a different shape. So stepping forward, side, back, it doesn't matter which direction you start with. As we're moving. And now we're going to go straight into a balance with this position. And then balance however you wish to do so. Back, front. Hold that position. Moving. And just relax there. Have some tea. Thursday tea is always the best. Remember that all of these exercises are sort of adding up to a full body strength and mobility and movement process of increasing strength and increasing that mobility and building proprioception. So let's do some resistance band work. Well, actually I might do one or two exercises now. I'm just going to sort of throw the format of our sessions around a bit. With a resistance band, I want you to just hold on to it in front of you. Palms up to start with. Now, we're just going to extend to the side and then back. Extending it to the side, to the back, and back. Just probably do this 7 or 8 times. If you wish, take a balance whilst you're doing this as well. And it might be that you change your leg position between exercises. I think that's 8. I really like that exercise. I really feel it in my upper back, I feel it in my shoulders, I feel it with my torso working. And I'm also going to do this exercise with us now. We would normally do it slightly later. We're going to do this here. So this is underneath my right foot. I've got my right hand on top, left hand on top of that. I'm rotating to the side. My torso is turning. It's doing all the work. And my shoulders are working to lift my arms. But I'm not bending it, my arms in any way. 3, and then 4. Grip, same side, gripping, rotating. 1, 2. Remember, if your rotation is limited, then limit your movement to that limit. So if that's as far as you can go, then that's as far as you need to go. As long as we're getting just a feeling of that rotation, then that's good. I'm going to come back to another exercise later, but for the minute, let's go back to our moving. And in fact, what we're going to do is, we're not going to be moving just yet. We're going to do some seat focused up and down. So, facing forwards with your chair. As you can see, there are no sides to this chair, so I don't want you to, so if you can, have a chair without sides. If not, then have to do some adjustments. Just going to stand straight up. And back down. See, we don't want this happening as you step coming up. We want you torso up vertically as you stand up. And then back down. Really focusing on that right up to the extension at the top. And then back. Now we're going to go slightly sideways. I say slightly sideways, that's fully sideways. Slightly sideways. Bend terminology. One hand is going to be on the back of your chair, or on the side, and one hand is going to be on the seat. And it could be the seat here, it could be the seat here. It's up to you. All of our chairs are different shapes. And we're going to push and step up, and then drop back down. Just going to do that twice, just as a preparation for the next bit. Up, and then back down. Let's go to the other side. Hand on the back of the chair, other hand on the seat. Forwards and up, back down. Torso is straight. I'm coming onto the ball of my foot, it feels, at the back here. You don't need to. Back down. Back to the first side. We're going to add another step. In fact, we're going to add another 2 steps. Same thing. Hand on the back, hand on the seat, up, step, balance. Reverse it. Step back and down. Stepping up, step, balance. Step back and down. Switch to the other side. Up, step forwards and balance. Step back and down. Up, stepping forwards to balance. Back and down. Now, third variation. This is where it gets even more fun. If this is the end of this one, we're adding a little bit of an extra movement with the leg and the arms. If that's too much, just don't add it. Just step forwards. Stepping forwards, here. Now, arms out, and your leg is going to come forwards, and your arm is going to come opposite. Then step back, and we reverse it. And down. And we try that again. Up, stepping forwards, arm brings that circle, and back, and down. Other side. Stepping up, stepping forwards, arm swings forwards. Now if you wanted to, you could hold on to a wall here or something else, and then comes back, step, and down. One more time, forwards, step, arms are out, leg makes a circle, try not to kick the picture, or the wall, or any other furniture, and down. Great. So this is just some really specific up and down exercises. The arms are really working here as well in terms of getting up. Obviously then there's coordination of stepping, and particularly stepping backwards is an important one for us to play with. So we're going to add this, or elements of this, into our moving now. So we're going to start here, shape and position that we had earlier. You're going to start moving your arms across as well. Arms are moving in random ways, and then we're going into our position here again. Now, this is just what we were doing before. Now we're going to add in stepping backwards, and then we're going to shift and up to the other side. So we're just adding in that extra chair move. Arms are moving, so we really do want our arms to move. In a more advanced session, we would have weights around our wrists or holding on to tins of vegetables, because they're a good weight to use. And then we're going up into our position. Moving back. Down we go. Now I might decide actually this time I'm going to come straight forwards. So I can move a range of different ways, and I'm going to come onto an anchored foot here. My foot is anchored on the floor. Stepping back, arms are still moving. Sitting. You can see I'm moving slowly. Up. I don't want to be rushing this, I want to be taking my time and really have control of what I'm doing. If I go too fast, I run the risk of falling or tripping or just being unstable, and it's not helpful in terms of what we're trying to do in terms of develop strength, movement, capacity, and in our balance. I'm going to come into a balance now. Last movement across, down, moving over, balance. Fantastic. Moment for a mouthful of tea. Now we're going to play with something that is quite an advanced idea. We have to be really careful how we do it, but it's one of the most fun things, I think, in all of the Renaissance exercises. And that is essentially, we're going to make these positions whilst holding onto a resistance band like this. We're going to take steps, just 2 or 3, and then we're going to change those positions. And we're just going to step, it's just sort of moving across the floor and changing positions. This is an advanced exercise, and if you don't have a resistance band, you could hold on to some cans of vegetables or half a kilogram of a leg weight or a wrist weight. Obviously remember to change sides. We won't do this for too long. And it looks strange, it is strange, it feels weird in terms of its coordination, but I think this is one of the examples of an exercise that looks a bit odd, so lots of people don't do it because they feel like they look a bit silly. But in fact, the impact of this exercise on strength, and I've seen it with a group of amazing women who worked with me in the last 2.5 years, when we started to add this exercise into our program, their strength and mobility just increased phenomenally. That's enough for that. It's quite impactful. So even with a relatively light band like this one, you want to limit the amount of time you do that because you really feel it tomorrow. And one of the things that I'd like to work towards with this whole Renaissance program is that you don't feel it tomorrow. That doesn't mean you haven't worked, it just means you haven't overworked. You don't need to feel tired and exhausted and have to have a recovery day with this session. It's a really important element, because if we're doing this work and then suddenly we're too sore to move or too sore and we're limited in our life activities, then it's not really having any impact. It's not really having the impact that I want it to have. It's actually diminishing our movement and our potential. Somebody described this as this Renaissance program as real life movement training. And that's what I like to think of it as well. So let's come back to our first exercise. We're going to step forwards to balance, and then we're going to step back. Other foot, we're going to step forwards to balance. So we're just testing and back. Our same exercise that we started with, we're just seeing if there's any difference. Do you feel more connected? Do you feel less connected? Do you feel stronger? Maybe you feel weaker. Do you feel like there's a difference, or maybe there is no difference? And this isn't a judgment on any of the answers, it's just knowing. It's better to see if there's a change rather than not. Balance. I just feel stronger on my leg, really. And then we're just going to bend forwards. And then you're going to bring your arms out and you're going to just open that chest up to the ceiling. I don't want you to lean right back. It's more of a, it's like your chest is diagonally pointing up, not right up. And then relax, bend your knees. Up and extend. And then and extend. Fantastic. A couple of different ideas, a couple of new ways of testing our strength and our movement. We're just going to keep exploring that as we move forward.